my name's Stephanie Fleck. I'm a wedding and event planner based out of Vail, Colorado. And with my clients, the first thing we always do is choose the venues and the wedding date. And the next thing we do is the wedding day timeline, because you can't really do any planning until you have that done. So in today's video, I'm going to show you how to do it. So keep watching. The easiest way for me to teach you how to do a timeline is to actually do one. So this is just beginning stage of the wedding day timeline. As you continue with the planning, you're going to keep adding to it. Everything that you plan will go into the timeline. My timelines are usually like 10 pages by the time the wedding day happens. The first thing I like to do is put the ceremony in. So we'll just say 3 o'clock. And let's say that this wedding is at the Beaver Creek Chapel and the time slot is 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock. So I'm going to put that in there, and that means we can start setting up at 1 and we need to be completely out of there by 4. And I like to work backwards, so I like to start at the ceremony and then work backwards. So 30 minutes before the ceremony, the wedding party and then the family that's in the processional should be out of sight, relaxing in the staging area. So in this case, it's 2:30. They are out of sight. And then you always want to allocate for like travel time. So let's say they are staying at the Park Hyatt, and we are going to have them start walking. Sorry, and then we also, while the wedding party is going to start walking at 2:15, we're also going to put photos of the bride and groom at 1:15 to 2:15. We'll give them an hour for that. We're doing a first look. I'll talk more about first looks, like, in a different video, probably the next video. And then for the first look, you want to also allocate for travel time to the first look spot. In this case, we'll just say 15 minutes to say something. So we'll have the groom go first and then the bride go to the first look spot. And that means at noon, the bride's going to put her dress on. I like to give extra time. It's not really going to take like 45 minutes. And then we want to know where the guys are getting ready. And we'll say they're getting ready at the Hyatt. Just because, I know it doesn't really take guys that long to get ready, but it's good to have them all in the same spot. So, I don't have to, be looking for them. And the photographer is going to do getting ready shots and stuff eventually. For the girls getting ready, I'm going to say 9 a.m. They're going to start getting ready. Hair and makeup. So you'll need to tell your hair and makeup artist how many bridesmaids you have and moms and who's getting their hair and makeup done. And I think 9 o'clock is a good time. So the hair and makeup artist, they'll help you. It's usually like 45 minutes for hair and 45 minutes for makeup, and then the bride takes longer. But your hair and makeup artist, they'll be able to let you know how many stylists they need to bring so that you can get ready at 9 and you don't have to start at 6 in the morning or anything like that. But I always put the bride's getting ready time in here. So I'm going to put I always do her makeup first too, because when the photographers and videographers come, they're going to be taking detail photos and getting ready photos. And, no one wants to get their picture taken without their makeup on. So I'm going to put 10 a.m. for her makeup, 11 a.m. for her hair. And then I'm going to add, what am I doing here? 9 a.m. Okay, breakfast. It's really important to schedule time and make plans for everybody to eat, because if you forget, it's going to be like a long day and you're going to be pretty hungry by the time dinner comes. So I'll put, the guys would have time for lunch, we'll put 11:30. And then, like I said, I'm going to do the bride's makeup at 10. And then at 11, I'll have the photographers and videographers come so that they can get the getting ready shots while the bride has her makeup on. Okay, now we're going back to around the ceremony time. And so 2:30, at 30 minutes before the ceremony, you want the ushers to arrive, and you also want the prelude music to start. And then we have the ceremony. It usually takes like 30 minutes, unless it's like Catholic or something. And then because we're at the Beaver Creek Chapel, something I like to do is I like to do a group photo. And so like it works really well. The wedding party, they do the recessional pretty much downstairs and then I line up everybody outside for the group photo. And while I'm doing that, it's a really good opportunity for the couple to sign the marriage license and the wedding party and family to witness it. And then we do the group photo. I forgot to add this before, but in your vendor venue contract, it'll say when the vendors can start setting up, most likely, and you'll want to put that on the timeline because the vendors want to know pretty soon. 3:45. Okay, so we're gonna do wedding party and family photos at 3:45. And I put a few outside of the chapel and then the rest in the village because at the chapel they're like super strict about the time slot ending at 4 and don't even like you to be outside. While wedding party photos and family photos are happening, the rest of the guests will be walking to cocktail hour, and let's just say it's at the Hyatt outside on the patio. Okay, so family and wedding party photos, you need to do the shot list, which I'll talk about in different video, and then figure out with the photographer how long it'll take. But it usually takes about 30 minutes in case, unless you have like a really big family or something. But just for this video, I'm going to put 30 minutes and then I'll put C shot list. And I'll talk about the shot list in the next video when I talk to the photographer. And then I was thinking about it. So I have 4 to 5 for cocktail hour, but after thinking about it, I think I'm going to change it to 4 to 5:30. It's just going to work out better. And then the family and wedding party, they don't need to miss the entire cocktail hour. 10 minutes before the end of cocktail hour, I always invite guests inside. And I don't like it when the DJ does it because I think it's like really super cheesy to have too many DJ announcements. And it's like more professional and polite to have my team personally invite the guests to sit down. It usually takes about 10 minutes to get everybody into the room for the reception. And then at 5:30, let's say they want to do a wedding party announcement. It's not a must, but some like a lot of my couples like to do it. And I think it's a really nice transition to go right into the first dance after the bride and groom are announced. But again, you don't have to do it this way. Just for this example, we're going to do it that way. And then it's customary for the bride's dad, if the parents are paying, to do a welcome speech. So I'll put that in there. If the bride and groom are paying, then they could do the welcome speech, whoever's hosting. And then we'll have dinner starting at 5:45. And I like to give an hour and a half for that, but it doesn't usually take that long. So it's more of a sequence of events after dinner actually starts. So, when it feels like the right time, we're going to do speeches. So basically, like when almost all of the guests are done eating, we'll start that. And it's customary for the best man and the bride's dad to speak. But I'll put the maid of honor too, because a lot of times they like to do that. And I always like to have whoever's the best speaker last. Then after speeches, we'll do the father daughter and dance, followed by the mother son dance. And I'm giving like 10 minutes for it, but it won't really take that long. Usually the band or the DJ shorten the songs because it's kind of awkward. And then I realized I forgot the cake cutting. So in this example, let's say we're not serving cake to everybody. We are announcing the cake cutting. And then the cake's just going to be served on a table so people can get. So because I forgot the cake tasting, we're just going to push back the father-daughter dance to 7:25, and then we'll do open dancing at like 7:35. And this is actually perfect. You want 2 to 3 hours for dancing, and looks like we have that in this timeline, which is great. We have 2.5 hours. And then I just wanted to put the last dance on here. And then I wanted to put the sparklers send off. And then to make a note that we need the photographers for the whole evening. So they don't, if you were going to not have a send off, they could leave after like just like a little bit of dancing. That's it for the timeline. This is a really good start. As I mentioned, it's going to be growing and it's going to get really long, and you can just keep adding to this whenever you make more plans. Now that you know how to make your wedding day timeline, you're one step closer to booking your hair and makeup artist, your photographer, videographer, caterer if your wedding venue doesn't have one, and the ceremony musicians, your DJ, your band. So I will elaborate more on booking vendors in my next video. I already did a video with Casey Pico all about booking your hair and makeup artists and pretty much everything you would want to know about hair and makeup for your wedding. And I will link that below. And if you have any questions about the timeline, I'll link my email. Feel free to ask me. Thanks for watching. Bye.